Chapter 1. The Mission. My name is Alexandra. I was born in the city of Satya, part of the kingdom of Prema. I'm the first of 3 siblings, and until today, I'd never gone through any difficulty, and I lived quietly in our peaceful lands. It all began the day when the Queen's subjects came looking for us. That morning, as usual, I was teaching the youngest of my brothers, Levit. He was a very serene and sweet boy, so I always found it very satisfying. At that same moment, there was a knock on the door. I got up hurriedly and looked through the peephole. It was the figure of what seemed to be a messenger from the Queen, so I opened the door without a second thought. "Good morning, young lady. I am an envoy of the Queen. I have come here to inform you that the Queen needs all your family to come to the palace tomorrow at 12 noon. It is a matter of the utmost importance." "Of course. Tell the Queen that we will be delighted to attend her appointment tomorrow." The messenger nodded and said goodbye politely, wishing me a good day. Then I watched as he took off in a white chariot pulled away by a beautiful swan. I shut the door and went back to the small room where my brother was waiting for me. "Who was it?" asked Levit. "It was a palace messenger. He came to inform us that the Queen needs to talk to us." "What do you think it will be for?" The messenger told me it was an important matter, but gave me no further details. My brother kept silent and thoughtful until Sam, the middle brother, arrived. He was 9 years old, a very cheerful and lively child, and possessed an acute intelligence. He rushed in and shut the door forcefully. "I'm back," he said, shouting as he raised Levit up to his shoulders, and they both went to their room. After spending a few minutes reflecting, I decided to come out to the garden to pick up the vegetables needed to prepare lunch. When I was finishing putting the tomatoes in the basket, I heard my mother's voice calling out my name. "Alexandra, where are you? I'm home." My mother used to repeat this phrase every day each time she returned from the market where she worked selling the products she grew in our garden. She was a serene woman, never raised her voice, and the education that she gave us was based on humility or wisdom. I ran to the door to enter the house with her, and still with the doorknob in hand, I began to tell her about the visit of the Queen's envoys in detail. "So you're telling me that we have to be at that palace at 12 noon, and they didn't tell you why?" He just highlighted that it was an important matter. "Well, your father is about to arrive. Let's prepare lunch and talk with him while we eat." My father was an important art master of the elements. He was known through the entire city for the well-doing of his teachings. He taught classes near the lake, in a center that bore his same name, Elias, which was attended by students from all parts of our kingdom. Everything that happened with the water had made our people understand that knowledge, respect, and knowing how to work with the 5 elements, water, fire, earth, air, and ether was fundamental for the education of our young people. At 2 o'clock on the dot, my father returned, and my mother and I told him the news as our lunch progressed. We agreed to set out early the next morning, as we would have to go through many miles to reach the palace. I could barely sleep that night. I stayed up staring at the starlight through the window, and soon, almost without realizing it turned into the bright light of dawn. It was time to prepare to leave. At 8 in the morning, we were all aboard my family carriage, where I was quickly overcome by sleep. I don't know how much time passed. I had been immersed in my deepest dreams, until my restless brother Sam woke me up shaking my shoulders as he repeated, "Alexandra, wake up! We've reached the palace." We walked a few meters until we reached a huge wooden door that had numerous ornaments carved in it and bright inlays of stone, so beautiful that my sight couldn't part with them. It was the most impressive thing I'd seen so far in all my life. But suddenly the door opened, and it was followed by a myriad of beautiful things. Starting with the well-polished marble floor, similarly to the walls, the carpets embroidered in gold thread, and the most impressive and beautiful statues. The palace door was just a showcase of all the wonders that could be visualized inside. In contrast, in the background, we could see the figure of the queen dressed in simple white robes and dressed in a simple but charming crown of natural flowers. We got closer little by little, while Prema received us with a serene look and a soft smile framed on her lips. We saluted her with a bow of our head, and she, with a gesture, invited us to take a seat on the cushions that were placed on that precious carpet. The queen didn't beat around the bush, and soon brought us up to date on everything that had happened. I sent for you this morning because we are all very aware of the problems that our neighbors of the Kali Kingdom are facing, and also the disappearance of the messengers that I have sent so far. Well, tonight I have learned that your family has been chosen to undertake this mission, but this time with a series of conditions that make it different from what we had previously tried. I have learned that Queen Kali is suffering from the evil of confusion due to her insatiable thirst, and that all of our messengers have become disoriented in her kingdom after drinking from this same chalice. For this reason, you will have to go through a different path to get there. Our people have never crossed these lands, because the legends told by our great-grandparents already warned us of the dangers that these roads lurked. But I have received this information as a valuable treasure. Those born to overcome these difficulties are yourselves. And whether you succeed or not in this mission, both the kingdom of Kali and ours depends upon, given that in the future all humanity must be regulated by the only laws of respect and balance. In order to cross the first kingdom from the path called Temasek, I will equip you with the following weapons and armor so that you can face these struggles. If you manage to overcome this kingdom, you will be able to leave them there, as they will no longer be necessary to cross the next one. which is known by the name of Rajasic, and in which the way to battle will be different. I can only tell you that this place, which not all it has it seems, perhaps at first glance, it looks like this battle is over. But listen to me carefully when I warn you that it will have only just begun.